Good evening, I'm back. I'm Jack Remington, I'm your host. Always a great day to be an American. My football season was exactly a 500 percentage win-loss picks. Next year there'll be no bonus picks. Had a tremendous start. I was hitting 68% for the first half of the season, and I just went off the rails. 0-5, 0-4 and 1, 1-4, 2-3, 2-3, 1-4. I almost had 3 0-5 weeks. You can't do anything when you go 0-5 at any time. So, long story short, I'm not happy with my performance 500. Anyway, you can throw darts at the board, you're going to go 500. Next year will be different. I'll be able to spend more time next year, and that's a guarantee. Playoffs. I spent a little more time. There's been some downtime at the things I've been doing. Went 2 wins, 1 loss, and 1 push. Okay? I used a line that was done early in the week. I still have friends. I still keep in contact with the guy. We have a little informal betting syndicate at the Las Vegas Hilton. And we text back and forth and call each other and harass each other, email each other, threaten each other, you bum, whatever. It's all in friendly fun. Not like this Rashida Tlaib that I'm going to knock out of the box in the House of Representatives. I'm going to get her at least censured, if not removed, for her comments about the Honorable Donald J. Trump, which is totally uncalled for. And we got to put a stop to it, and we're going to stop it. But that's, for the other video, that's politics. Politics and football shouldn't mix. Right, Colin Kaepernick? The playoffs, I started out okay. I knew Indianapolis was going to win, and I even posted extra comments on my YouTube channel because I just thought that Andrew Luck was looking pretty sharp the last few weeks. They won 9 of their last 10 games, and the one game they lost was New England. They were coming back in that game, too, on a Sunday Night Football. They could have tied that game. They had a chance to tie that game up after being down 24-3 in the early third quarter. I mean, they just kept. Andrew Luck didn't give up. They started going for a 4th down, and we couldn't stop them. They did a couple of times when they needed to, but the game got a little closer than what Bill Belichick wanted to see. And no one wants to face the Indianapolis Colts right now. They got the best offensive line in football. Andrew Luck's been sacked twice the last 10 weeks in the NFL. One of them, he just went down. Their line's doing an awesome job for him. And the team with the best offensive line usually wins the Super Bowl. So I want to warn you here and right now, the Indianapolis Colts are a dangerous team. I know Houston's good in its own right, but that Watson's a great quarterback. He does a little scramble, does this, does that. Kind of like what Baltimore's quarterback did to bring them back against the Chargers. As good as they are, they're street ballers. The Philadelphia 76ers, the basketball team, they had no set plays or set formations, and they won it all. They got these 5 guys, and they played street ball, and they destroyed everybody. They were picked to finish last that year. It happens. I mean, until you can make your adjustments, and professional sports is about making your adjustments against your opponents. You have game film, you have tape. There's a lot of things involved in this, and don't let this 500 record fool you. I know a lot about football, and I don't mind saying so. This is one of the few things I'm actually very confident about. And sure, I've had bad years, and I've written checks to bookies when I've had bad years. I've done all that too. Okay, I've got the experience. I know what to do. I know what not to do. Okay, and I didn't gamble this year. I would have lost. When you go 500 and you got to pay juice and your travel time and your investment time, and you're not working and giving up a job or a shift to go to Vegas and watch these games, Saturday, Sunday, Monday night, Thursday night, that adds up. I would have had a losing season this year. Okay, I confess, I would have had a losing season. There's no shame in that. Okay, the shame comes that if people can't control the gambling, then it will control you. So I always warn people, do as I say, not as I do. That makes me a hypocrite, but guess what? I'm looking out for you. When I say these things, I'm not doing it to hear myself talk. I'm looking out for you. I will not let my daughters gamble or gamble for money for playing cards in the house. And when we go to Vegas, I'll give them money. Here's $300, go shopping, come back at 9 o'clock when the game's over, we'll go catch a movie. The Orleans has movie theaters. They have a bowling lane. My wife does not gamble. Not 1 red cent. She refuses to ever gamble. Okay? And that's a good thing. I will never allow her to gamble. Is that sexist? Perhaps, but I'm saving her. I don't want her going through what I went through, okay? And I've never gambled on rent money, okay? You got to have extreme, hardcore-willed, ironclad discipline to do this business. And why I'm putting it on this video, the lightning bolt struck me to put this in the video to tell people that gambling is a trap. I mean, it's okay. It looks glamorous. All the glitters is not gold, folks. And you're gambling your hard-earned money. Okay, and I got one ticket this year that we spent $50 on, and I won it by half a game. It's the New England under 12, wherever it was, wins, and I got that in an earlier video, and I got to mail in to get it cashed in, by the way. So I'm glad you guys reminded me. But I have had some great success with the sports book and my handicapping in the past. Just that my life's taken a different direction. It's just for entertainment only. And if I can keep people from going overboard and not writing checks to the bookies like I was doing for a while, stay within your means and have fun with it. That's what it's about. It's not, I'm going to make $10,000 this week, or I'm going to triple parlay and please or teaser and oddball this and if bet that and win this. Forget that. That never works. You're going to chase it. The one time you get a lucky hit, you're going to chase it 1,000 times trying to repeat that. That's why they get you. Slot machines pay the most out of any gaming thing you could do in the world. They give back 97% of what they take in. You think, well, okay, you're only losing 3%. That 3% is billions of dollars a day throughout the world. Billions, not millions, billions throughout the world. All the casinos throughout the day. Okay, people just dump the money in the slot machines and pull the button, pull the lever. Okay, what skill is that? You hit the button, please. They didn't build these things for you to beat them. They didn't build these glittering lights in Las Vegas downtown at the Strip, Las Vegas Boulevard, the Flamingo, the Wynn, the Mirage. They didn't build these, the Palazzo, the Bellagio. They didn't build these plush palaces so you can come in and extract money from them. They built them so you would go there and be entertained and gamble. Okay, those lights and those palaces got built by you losing. They didn't get built by you winning. So that's my advice for today. And I could have said, hey, I had a undefeated weekend in the wild card weekend. I want to say something else about the wild card weekend. Road teams do well. 3 out of 4 of the wild card teams won. Okay, and had Seattle not lost its kicker, they win too. Think about that. They had to go for a 4th down 2-point conversion. They had no kicker. They couldn't kick field goals. They got hurt. Okay, Janikowski got hurt trying to kick that 57-yarder early in the game. It's just a fluke. Injuries happen in the NFL. That's the luck part of sportsbook handicapping. You know, your best player or your key player can go down at any time. And it happened with Janikowski with Seattle. The road teams won 3 out of 4. There was a year, I want to say 10 years ago, the road teams won every game on the wild card weekend. And they split the divisional rounds, and they split the conference championship games, and then they had the Super Bowl. So, you know, road teams can do well in playoffs. People can think, oh, the home team this, the home team that. Not necessarily, folks. You know, the home teams win, what, 56% of the time throughout a whole course of a season? That's all. You know, it's not that much of an advantage, in my opinion. When you're a handicapper, you look at that road team, you look at the points, and people, the gamblers, they bet home teams, they bet favorites. So the bookies know that. They make their adjustments. They're trying to balance the books. Wise guys versus the public. So they just take their 10%, or they have to charge $1.50 or $1.30 for a game. So be it. They just, you know, want equal amount of betting on these games, and they can just take their money off the middle, and they're happy. So I hope this video helped you. I'm going to cut some of this out. It's way too long. I like short videos. And I'll have the video up of who we're going to pick this week. The Colts, they're peaking. And I got to say this too. You don't want a team that peaks too soon. It very well could be that Indianapolis peaked last week. And when you peak, you start giving away some. So it's going to be a very interesting playoffs. I mean, that Chicago-Philadelphia, that was a major upset. You know, the line opened, what, 6.5? I'm getting all kinds of messages that the line was all over the place before the game time. And then the halftime line was Chicago -3, and it didn't budge. So people who were taking Philadelphia, they were trying to slough off some of their hedging. And some of them won both sides of the bet. And the ones that took Chicago, that took Philadelphia, they essentially broke even. And if I had been in Vegas, I'd have done that too. I mean, I watched that Chicago-Philadelphia game. I was at a sports bar in Ventura, a Pizza Chief in Ventura, off Kimball Road. I clearly thought the Philadelphia was the better team that first half. They were putting the ball down the field. I mean, yeah, Chicago made some good plays, but in Philadelphia, I mean, Trubisky almost got picked off 3 times, and you know he got lucky. That one interception, they could all eat away. The guy's out of bounds. He slid on the ground. I mean, Trubisky has a little time getting the ball out. Foles is much better. Foles is quicker on the release, and that's a big advantage for an NFL team. And I didn't factor that in. That's my fault. That's on me. Trubisky, I'm just not sold on him, and I've said it in other videos. I'm just not sold on the guy. I'm just not sold on him. He doesn't have that zip on the ball. That we've been spoiled by the John Elways, the Peyton Mannings, the Tom Bradys, the Earl Morralls of the Colts that had a rocket arm, the Don Strocks of Miami, Dan Marino. We've been spoiled by those guys with a rocket arm, man. That thing like a laser going in 20 yards out of the field. The receivers can't catch it so hard. Dan Fouts. Dan Fouts, Terry Bradshaw, all those guys could wing that ball. Joe Gilliam of the Steelers, the black quarterback, he could throw the ball from end to end. MacArthur Lane, the Green Bay Packers running back, won that contest. He threw the ball 105 yards. I remember that. Okay, those guys could zing that ball. Trubisky, I'm not knocking you, Trubisky. I like you. You're a good guy, and I wish you well. And you're better than what I was when I was a kid. But not that much better. I could zing the ball a little bit too. I played quarterback in high school, and I tried out for the college team. I got cut. I just wasn't good enough. I wasn't big enough. Couldn't take the hit. But I could run the ball. I could zing that ball. But you got to be able to take a hit. You got to be able to take a hit in college and the NFL. More so the NFL. And anybody who's played football knows what I'm talking about. That's the very first thing they ask for when you're evaluating quarterbacks. The first thing they say is, "Can you take a hit?" If you can't take a hit, it's next. You're done. They don't want no parts of you. And the knock on R.G. Griffin III, the nice quarterback that came out of the played for the Redskins, who was beat out by Kirk Cousins, by the way, and Shanahan was going to start him, and Snyder, the owner of the Redskins, said, "No, he's our top draft pick. You play RG3. You put him in the game. Cousins going to have to sit out." The competition. I remember that Shanahan was going to put the best quarterback in. And it was not RG3, it was Kirk Cousins at the time. Okay? But NFL does politics. Oh, we got Washington, we went with RG3, He didn't last. He's too small for the NFL. Johnny Manziel, too small for the NFL. They just cannot take the hits. There was even a question about Matt Leinart for USC right here where I'm at in Southern California. Okay, UCLA, you see UCLA here. Okay? They play every year, and it's a big rivalry. And as good as Leinart was in college, I knew he was too small for the NFL. He played for Arizona Cardinals, and he played for Houston Tech. He got his collarbone broken. He just didn't heal right. He's out of football. The NFL is big men, big, strong men. That's the way it is. So I hope this video helped you, and I'm going to be cutting a lot of this out. I got off track. I've been offline for a few weeks, Christmas holidays, and got some other things going on. But thanks for listening to me. Thanks for sticking with me, and always a great day being American. Thank you. Please subscribe.